Hello, welcome to this again. So like the iPod, right? Pretty neat, right? You know, you got all this music, and you know, like music, it's music. I made mine blue, but wouldn't it be really funny to make it infinitely less useful by installing a desktop operating system on it? You can install Linux on an iPod. So yeah, I honestly have no idea what there is to do with Linux on an iPod. I just know that it's possible. So yeah, I'm gonna install Linux on this thing. Alright, so this is the iPod Linux wiki here, and apparently it's only currently safe to install on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generation iPods. I have a 5th generation. It says development is currently ongoing, but the last update was from March 7th, 2007, which apparently is when 5th generation iPods started working. So cool. Nice. So if I go over to the official installer here, and you know, you can see there's installers here. I already have the installer downloaded here. I just need to install it. Welcome to the iPod Linux installer. If something goes wrong during this process and your iPod refuses to boot normally, don't panic. Follow the directions at the iPod Linux website. This is not a clickable link. Alright, it says to make sure my iPod's plugged in, so I've got the iPod here. Alright, iPod is plugged in. Alright, next. Cool. It could not find the iPod. The iPod is right there, so I don't know what you're talking about. Well, iTunes clearly sees it. Alright, so the installer on Windows wasn't working, which means I finally have an excuse to use the 17-inch PowerBook G4 that I bought like 4 months ago. That for some reason won't turn back on. Hey. It also has a slightly broken screen. Alright, so I've got the iPod down here. Now iTunes is not happy with the fact that it's an iPod 5, but the iPod Linux installer couldn't care less, so yeah, sure, make Linux the default OS. Do it. Oh, I need to make it a Mac formatted iPod. Yeah, I forgot that I'm on Mac now. How am I gonna do that? Because like iTunes isn't happy with it. I gotta update iTunes. Okay, so I need to update to a newer version of iTunes, which requires me to update to a newer version of Mac OS. So here we have the Mac OS X combo update. It should update me to the latest version of Mac OS that can run on this thing, hopefully. Welcome to the Mac OS X update combined installer. Yeah, sure, give it a shot. All right, and we're updating. All right, now I gotta restart this thing. And just like that, we're now running a slightly newer version of ancient Mac OS. And now I can install slightly newer, ancient iTunes. Oh, great, I need QuickTime now. Why didn't you just install it with iTunes? God damn it. But since we are now running a newer version of macOS, I can finally actually connect this thing to the internet. Oh shoot, we got a bunch of software updates already. Yeah, sure, just update everything. Okay, now if I go to iTunes, open up the thing. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it installed successfully, but I just couldn't open it. I don't know, I'll just give it a shot anyway. Okay, it installed successfully. Can I open it? Yeah, sure, you can do that. The question is it going to do that? No, shush, 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 shush. This is the second time I've ripped this CD on this MacBook, but it got all the names. Yeah, it got the names, but no cover art. Damn. Anyway, back to the point of this video. iPod Linux. It should be able to, you know, see the iPod now. Okay, so syncing is complete, but is it formatted as a Mac now? No, it's not. Oh man, this looks way better than modern iTunes. Well, this thing isn't connecting to the iPod servers, which means I can't, you know, format this thing. Which means I was really hoping I wasn't gonna have to do this. But I have to use the Big Mac. I don't even know what operating system this thing's running right now, so I guess I'll find out. Oh, it's running Windows. The fuck? Alright, so I reinstalled macOS on the Big Mac, and I was able to get a new enough version of iTunes so I could actually restore this thing as a Macintosh iPod, so. Also, I posted a sneak peek for this video, and everyone thinks I'm installing macOS on the iPod. You fools. But now, hopefully, I should be able to do the thing that lets me thing to do. See, there you go. It's Macintosh formatted now. Install. An error occurred while installing Linux. Error reading firmware version from iPod data file. Well, I couldn't do it. It just didn't work with this iPod. I mean, I've tried everything I could think of. I've got this thing. That didn't help. I tried Windows XP in a VM and it still didn't pick up the iPod. But don't worry, I have purchased an iPod 3rd generation, which should be fully supported by the iPod Linux software. So hopefully in a few weeks, I can actually get this to work. So, you know, in the meantime, subscribe, I guess. Don't miss it. Here's the outro. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. If you have something to say, leave a comment. And if you want to see more, subscribe. And thank you to my channel members. Their names are on the screen here. Yeah, sorry for the very short and underwhelming video, especially after, you know, delaying it twice. I swear next video is gonna come out Monday, normal time. I swear if it doesn't, I'm